Room. All right, fine.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome to LSU Online and the graduate program, How to Apply informational webinar. We're so glad you're here with us. We're going to give everyone just a couple of seconds to get online and join the group, and then we will get going with some information on the graduate programs. I do want to do just a little bit of clarifying before we get started that this webinar is specifically for programs out of the main campus, the Baton Rouge campus for LSU Online. So if you are interested in an undergraduate program or a graduate program out of our Shreveport campus, that would be a program that says LSUS next to it, then you'll just need to hold tight, maybe email one of us and we'll get you to the right person to get some more information on applying. This is specifically for the graduate programs out of Baton Rouge. Now, if you're not sure if your program is one of those that we cover, hold tight just for a minute. We'll have some slides that list all of our programs, and or you can hang on and ask one of our enrollment coaches when we get to the questionnaire section. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. First off, I would like to introduce our team tonight of wonderful ladies from the graduate team at LSU. I'm Jennifer Christina. I am an enrollment coach and I cover the graduate programs and help Avery out with social work sometimes. So next up is Avery. Introduce yourself, please, Avery.
Hi, everybody. I'm Avery, and like Jennifer said, I work primarily with our incoming students for our Masters of Social Work program. And Sarah?
I'm Sarah Simmons. I work with graduate programs other than social work. And that's really me. That's what 5 years at LSU will do for your hair. But yes, and I've enjoyed every single second of it. Happy to help.
Great. So we're going to get started here with our agenda for the night. We are going to, like I said, cover the LSU graduate programs. Talk a little bit about what the admission requirements are for programs, how to find that information, walk you through an application, talk about upcoming deadlines, especially the next deadlines for the next terms that are available for us. And then when we're finished going over our slides with you, we're going to have a little question and answer session where you'll be able to type in questions for us, and our lovely enrollment coach ladies here will help me answer those. So let's go ahead and get started and talk a little bit about the LSU graduate programs that we do have. Avery, if you want to take us off on listing these programs or just talking about what we have.
Of course. So these are all of the programs we offer through our main campus online. So if you take a look, we have a Master of Science in Analytics, Business Administration, Civil Engineering. To go through the rest, it's Construction Management. Then we have a Master's of Education with a specialization in Educational Technology, another one in Higher Ed Administration, another one in Educational Leadership. Then we go on to a Master's in Environmental Sciences, in Finance, Industrial Engineering, Kinesiology. Then we have Leadership and Human Resource Development. Then we have a liberal arts degree that lets you kind of build your own degree. Then we have our Master of Library and Information Science, a Master of Public Administration, Master of Social Work, and our Master of Sports Management. Can we go to the next slide?
Yep.
All right, and then as along with our degrees, our master's degrees that we offer, we have several different graduate certificates that you can do alongside your master's degree, or if you just want to do the certificate itself, you can take a look over these. We have one in analytics, archival studies, cloud computing and machine learning, educational technology, emerging information technologies for business, environmental and energy policy, environmental health sciences, environmental modeling and analysis. Then we have healthcare analytics, healthcare systems engineering, records and information management, transportation engineering, and workforce development. And then I think I'm going to hand it off to you, Sarah.
Thanks. So we're going to talk about our admission requirements. And I want to say that although you will see this clearly outlined in each program that's offered on our websites per program, there are some differences and some deviations from the actual print, which is why we encourage you to get in touch with your enrollment coach. We can really help you out with some advice and help you become successful in your application. For example, a program will say that we need to have a 3.0 in your undergraduate work or in the last 60 hours of coursework. This is true. I can't think of an exception to this standard in any of our programs. However, you can be very close to that, and we'll encourage you most of the time to apply. Once you qualify for the grad school, their bare minimum requirement is a 255. Then the programs look at you. They do want that 3.0, but if you're close, in particular in the last 60 hours, then we want to talk about it, because your departments will also look at your other elements, things like your resume, your letters of recommendation, your statement of purpose. They look at you holistically. And so some of the programs are going to require a standardized test. Very few. Most of them are now waiving the GRE GMAT requirement. And most of them have reduced their letters of recommendation, but some are still looking for 3. So check in with us. And the statement of purpose is a little bit different for some of the programs, but it's basically 1,000 words or less. Some have no word limit, but it's basically telling us what's your motivation? Why are you doing this? What's going to keep you up in the wee small hours studying, getting that last project done? What are your goals personally and professionally? We really like to get to start knowing you right away.
Okay, I'm going to take you all just through a walkthrough of our application. So if you go to applygrad.lsu.edu and then apply to apply, if you go at the very bottom, you'll see create an account and first-time users. Once you are going back, I think you can see here on the bottom, there will be a login for coming back in the future. But you'll receive a temporary PIN on your very first time that will allow you to get in and move forward. So then you're going to go down here. You see all this is spelled out. And remember, we are recording this and we'll send you a recording when we're finished tonight. So don't feel like you need to screenshot everything we tell you or that you need to write it all down. But you'll go to start a new application. And then once you're in, you'll be able to move through the tabs on the left side of the screen that will help you navigate the different components of your application. So those are over on the right side right here. But what you'll see, you'll go to the recommendation section so that you can enter the contact information for your recommenders, things like that. So the first thing that you're going to do when you get in is you're going to choose online for your admission type. You want to choose master's for your degree type, and then you'll choose the actual program. So you'll see you go to online, you go to master's, you pick your social work, you pick the state that you live in, and then you'll move forward here and start into your personal background. And you see here how all these blue tabs down the left side are taking you through the application. You do not have to start here and finish it all in one setting. Everything that you put in here stays in here. So just, follow these tabs. And if you talk to an enrollment coach, they can help you out with some of the things you do and do not need to do specifically for your program. So this is just kind of, I want to say, a standardized graduate school application for all of our grad programs, both online and on campus. So there will be things in here that you do not need, but for your program, but then there will be things you want to make sure that you catch. So that's something, again, that an enrollment coach can help you with. This is one of the big tabs, academic history. So you want to go in and you see with the little inset here, how to enter an institution and then put the dates that you attended and your level of study. So whether it was undergrad or whether it was grad, right? In that section, there will be a place here for you to upload a transcript. So a quick thing about transcripts. For all of our programs, you need transcripts from every single institution you have studied and received hours from. So everything post high school has to be here. If you graduated from Auburn, but you have transfer credits from Southeastern Louisiana, you have to get one from Southeastern too, even though your final transcript has all of those hours. We do a true cumulative GPA calculation for the graduate school, and to do so, they need the school that issued the grades to also provide a transcript. The transcripts can be unofficial. That's why you're able to upload them here instead of having them sent directly to us. We will need official copies after you start, but for the review process, you can have unofficial transcripts that you have copies of. And just FYI, the only thing that makes a document official or unofficial is whether that institution has sent it directly to LSU or if it's gone to you and then to us. So basically, if it changes hands, it becomes unofficial, even if it's the same document. So here's where you'll put in your PDF of your transcript. Another section that you'll hit for sure is application attachments. This is where you'll upload a resume. I want you to see here that there is also a drop down for a writing sample. You do not have to do this. None of our programs online require a writing sample. So you're doing the resume and you're doing the statement of purpose, but you do not have to do that writing sample. Okay, if your program requires you to submit a GRE or GMAT score, or if you have GRE or GMAT scores that you would like to share because you did really great on those tests and you want to add that to your application, this is where you would do that under the test score section. The majority of our programs do not require the GRE or GMAT, especially if you're coming in under regular admission. So this section, for those of you who are doing those programs, you do not have to do anything in. The employment section, this is where you're supposed to put in information for the last 5 years. I don't want you to spend a terrible amount of time in here because you are doing a resume. Every one of our programs does require a resume. So this is where you put in your employment, especially if you're applying to a program where you have employment history that matches with the program, or they're looking for specific experience, you'll put that in here. But again, you don't need to put when you worked at Dairy Queen when you were 15 and all of that kind of, you don't have to go back that far. Recommendations. I also want to throw in a caveat right now because we're going to talk about recommendations for different programs. Some require them, some do not. And for those, Avery, is this supposed to be your slide?
It is. So
All
I can
right, why don't you take
over.
it? So why don't you take it here because you have some things to say about the social work recommendations
Of course.
too.
Yes. So this is going to be a little different for each program. So be sure to talk with your enrollment coach if you're unsure of whether or not you need a recommendation form to be filled out. But for example, for my social work students, incoming students, they need to have the recommendation form for social work and child and family studies. That is the one that they will check. And then they'll fill out all of their contact information for those recommenders. We will send that form, that recommendation form, to the recommender for them to fill it out and send directly back to admissions to read over and to review. If you are not applying for social work, you would just choose the recommendation form if that's what's required for your application. So if you have any other questions about recommendations, just let us know. This next tab, we're kind of wrapping up the application, is the authorization. So this is where you will authorize your data to be shared within the LSU system. This is just allowing admissions to review your application and allowing us to go in and check and make sure everything is in your application. So you can give us a call, we can pull it up if you have any questions. If you want a fee waiver code, you can always give us a call and we'd be more than happy to provide that for you. Okay, and then we are near the end. So on this slide, the certification, this is just your e-signature to say that all of this information is true and that you verify this application. So you'll just sign that and confirm, and then it will take you on to the review slide. So if we can go there. Okay, this is the very last one. So everything that's in red is incomplete. So right now our application is completely empty, but this will allow you to see what needs to be finished up if you missed anything. So you can go back to that portion of the application before you press submit. And that is the application. All right, Jennifer or Sarah, can y'all take over?
So go ahead, Sarah, you want to take this one?
No, I was just mentioning that, going to mention that, you know, I know y'all can see the dates and the, you know, when to apply and when your start dates will be. But there is a difference. MSW kind of marches to the beat of a different drummer. So just kind of keep that in mind. Your apply by dates will be different, but your start dates will be in agreement. And I cannot say this enough. The sooner you get your application in, you can get an earlier decision, and the smoother your onboarding and registration will be. It just helps you immeasurably.
Absolutely.
So I would definitely recommend that. And did we talked about the code, right? Keep to the code. Okay.
So one thing, and this goes along with what Sarah just said, is as soon as you're admitted, you can schedule your classes for as far out as your program has classes already in the schedule booklet. So
Yeah.
for right now, for the vast majority of our programs, if you're admitted for summer 2 this week, you can schedule your classes for summer 2, fall 1, and fall 2 right now. So you're getting a jump start on everyone who's applying for later terms. If you apply now for fall 1 and are admitted, you can still schedule fall 1 and fall 2. So you want to get that in as soon as possible, not have to worry about getting financial aid attached, not have to worry about if you have classes available or if your registration goes through in enough time. Again, one more note on the MSW. Please pay attention if you are MSW to these dates. Only social work students have to worry about this. All of our application deadlines, save after the winter break, are 2 weeks before classes start. For social work, that's always about 2 months because their application deadline is always the start date of the term before. For instance, our next term starts May 22nd. So to apply for the July 3rd start date, you have to have your application in for social work for May 22nd. So they have a very lengthy faculty review process, and that is where that disparity comes from. So you want to make sure if you're social work that you're paying attention to that and looking at your numbers that way. Okay, let's keep in touch. Again, all these slides will be presented to you in an email when we're finished tonight, but this is our main contact number. You can also reach out to any of us directly. If you think you might have gotten the wrong person, if you're not sure who to reach out to, or if you're here for a different program and you want to reach out to one of us so that we can connect you with the right person, feel free to either contact this number or to contact one of us directly. We'd be more than happy to help you. Again, here's all of our contact information. So again, Avery covers the School of Social Work and the Master of Social Work, and Sarah and I cover all the other grad programs. Anything you can find that's out of the main campus. All right, so just a few frequently asked questions. I'm going to have Sarah take us through this section, if that's all right.
So there is a link. I mean, you'll find this link on our webpage. Also, if you're just inquiring for information, we'll send you an email. You'll see a link in our emails as well. So there's lots to get you started. That link right there, the online.lsu.edu, will bring you out. But seriously, enrollment coaches, we are here as your advocates, as your support. Let us know what you need. There is an application fee. It's $50. A lot of our programs are waiving them right now. So as you get your help from your enrollment coach, make sure you find out if it's valid for you now and how to use that, and keep to the code. What transcripts are required? As Jennifer said earlier, we need them all. They can be unofficial. We're trying to save you from coming out of pocket for the application process. However, we do need all of them. Unofficially is fine. You can upload them. And if you do need to reach out to your program because you don't have a copy somewhere in your files, I recommend going ahead to get the official copy rather than do it twice and pay it twice. Will my classes transfer in? That is a question we hear a lot. First of all, if you are in an undergraduate program, those will not transfer to a master level class. But if you are in another master, whether it's the same field or not, you might have something that can match up with one of our classes. This is decided by the department and only after you're admitted to the program. Another reason to apply early, if that's a make or break decision for you, get that decision early so you can decide whether you are relying on the transfer credits. And they will take a look at them, and never be afraid to ask. It's always good to get a no instead of assuring that there's no credit there for you. And then once you are admitted and you're going to the enrollment process for onboarding and registration, you will also have an academic advisor. That's through the department to help you decide which classes are best for you to take and in what order. Some of them do have a certain cadence that they want you to be in. So they'll help you with that. And then to help you register and actually enroll in those classes, you'll have a student success coach. So you sort of have administrative on one side and academic on the other to make sure that you're fully supported in both areas as you come through your experience with LSU. Go, Avery, go.
Oh, okay. So this is another question we have. I got locked out of my Moodle. So Moodle is our portal that you will need to access a lot of your course materials. You will use this throughout your entire time as a student. So if you're having any trouble with this or any of your other online portals, you can go to your student success coach. They'll be able to help you out. They'll get you connected and make sure everything is back on track for that. Or they'll at least get you in touch with IT to make sure everything is running smoothly. We want you to be successful. We know that with online school, your tech needs to be working. Then another common question we get is, will my diploma read LSU online? No, it will not. It will read Louisiana State University. And you were even invited to come walk across the stage in Baton Rouge and get your degree. So that is a benefit. It is a really wonderful thing. You are an LSU student, not an LSU online student. You are a Louisiana State University student. So yeah, you can walk at graduation. What's the next?
All right. Thank you all for that. And I see the questions are already popping up. So we are going to jump in. I'm going to go back and leave up our contact information for the three of us while we are in the question and answer section. So if you need to jot that down, then feel free. You can email us tonight. We'll probably get back to you tonight or first thing. So we're going to start here with these questions, and my associates here and I will answer some of these questions as they come in live, and we will also have some of these, especially if they're a little bit more program specific, maybe just type an answer and come in with you. So I'm going to start with the first question here. If I have AP credits, do I have to include a transcript from my high school too, since the credits were accepted at my college? Sarah.
That's a 10-4. Yes. A lot of our students and learners have hybrid classes in their high school experience. And so, yes, if you got college credit, anything attempted or earned, if it's college credit, we need to see that transcript. If you need help finding it, we can help you look that up and get in touch. So yes, but you do need to have those.
So, and just to piggyback on that, so what Sarah's saying is if you were in dual enrollment in high school and that means if you were dual enrolled, that means you were enrolled at that college. So you need them. If it's AP credits that are just from your high school and there was no college associated, you don't need a transcript for that. But for what Sarah's saying is for dual enrollment, you do need that.
Thank you.
Okay. What is considered full-time status? This is a $1 million question. The answer is it depends. Not just on your program, but for what reason you're looking to see if you're full-time or part-time. One thing we have not gone over yet somehow is how LSU Online works, what our format is, and that is that we work on terms instead of semesters. So we take each traditional semester and we break it into two. So we have 2 falls, 2 springs, 2 summers. And Avery talked about this a little bit. You can take, in some of our programs, you just take 1 class per term. Many of our programs, you can take 2 classes per term. Because they're half the time, you take about half the classes. So in that, we don't have exactly full-time and half-time or part-time. And the only reason you would be looking at that generally is if you're looking at financial aid. So for some organizations who are paying for you, for instance, the military, they may have a status they want you to keep with a certain number of hours. If you're applying for financial aid through the government, full-time status just means that you take at least 2 classes each full semester. So you can either take 1 in spring 1 and 1 in spring 2, or 2 in one of those terms. So really, we have people who do it completely both ways. So it's really a matter of some programs don't allow you to take 2 classes at a time, or you wouldn't want to based on the workload. So it's not that you're penalized for having fewer classes at a time. All right. Avery, this next one looks like it's for you. LCSW cert.
LCSW cert. So this is a licensed clinical social worker cert. This is something that you will complete after graduating with your master's. And it varies depending on like state by state. So you can get in touch with the School of Social Work directly, and they'll be able to go over that with you. You could also reach out to me, and I would be happy to give you some more resources of how to look at your state and what their licensing requirements are.
All right, Avery, again, what is
the
cost for the MSW per credit hour or total cost for online for traditional?
So yeah, our MSW program, the Masters of Social Work program, is currently $599 per credit hour, and that's going to include tuition and fees. It's a 60 credit hour program, so it ends up coming out to about $36,000 total. And like I said, that does include all your fees.
All right. I've been out of college for over 10 years. Do you accept students who graduated in 2003? And also what GPA is needed to enroll? Sarah.
10 years, you're going to blend right in. It'll be great. People always say, oh, I'm a non-traditional learner, or, yes, no, for us, you are right there on time. And the same application guidelines will apply GPA wise. What you need as far as documents go, everything will be the same, and we'll help you walk right through it. And a lot of our learners who have been out of school for a while do even better. So good for you.
And I wanted to mention something too that I didn't say when I introduced myself, but I am currently an online grad student. I am in the Master's of Leadership and Human Resource Development. So if you have questions about how that looks to be a student online, feel free to throw those at us. And believe me, we get those all the time anyway. So Sarah and Avery can jump in on that. But I'm glad to answer any questions about what it's like to be an online student as well. And I'll take this one because of that. This next one from Rose, will online students have access to on-campus activities? Do online students come to campus for anything besides graduation? So first of all, you never, ever have to come to campus. However, we would love for you to. It's a beautiful campus if you've never been. And for graduation, we would really love for you to come. Now, we'll still mail you your degree. If you're not able to walk, we will absolutely still let you graduate. But besides that, there's never a time you have to be here. If you are in the area because you live here or you're visiting, you definitely have access to a lot of things on campus, and you still have access to a lot of things virtually on campus. When you're an LSU student, an LSU online student, you are a full LSU student, like we talked about. You have access to the same resources. That includes the library, the Center for Academic Success, the tutoring. The only things that you won't have access to are things that on-campus students pay dedicated fees for. And some of those are available to you as a separate dedicated fee. The main two are the Health Center and the Rec Center. Besides that, the big one I know a lot of people ask about is about athletic involvement and being able to attend sporting events as an LSU student. For the very most part, you can use the student ID that you have every right to get. You'll just mail, you'll just send a picture of yourself to the Tiger Card office and they will mail you a student ID. You can use that on campus to enter most sporting events. The few that do require tickets, you'll be able to get tickets for, save football. Football has a lottery system. So all students on campus and online enter a lottery system for football tickets. Online students do still enter the lottery. So you'll be part of that, but you won't have, full access to just walk into football games because nobody does. But for the very most part, you're a full LSU student. The Career Center, everything that's part of LSU, that's one of the advantages of going to a school like LSU that's a flagship university. It's a Research One university. We have amazing resources for students. We spend millions of dollars on databases for the library system, and that comes out to you because a lot of the professors just link the e-textbooks that LSU subscribes to through their databases into your materials, and you don't even have to buy books. Now, every professor is different. I'm not going to say you don't ever have to buy books, but I can say personally, I have bought very, very few in my degree so far. So just know that all those are available to you as an online student. That's something that's very important to me. So the difference between the Master's in Librarian Science, SLIS, and LSU Online is very minimal. I'll just take this one really quickly. Because the on-campus program is 100% virtual, it is very close. They work on semesters where we work on those terms we talked about, those half semesters. And also, if you are out of state, you will pay out of state tuition to be an on-campus student, even if it's all virtual. If you're out of state and you're an LSU online student, you pay no out-of-state fees. Everyone pays the same flat rate. Okay, Sarah, does the MBA program have an application fee waiver code?
Oh, we do. Yeah, please be sure and get in touch with me. I'll be glad to help you out with that, but it will waive the entire $50 application fee.
All right. Are scholarships available for master's degree programs, Sarah?
Really, the answer is sadly no. Some departments might have something, be sure to ask specifically, but for the most part, as an online student, and because LSU is a state institution, a lot of our state funding, as you leave the undergraduate level and move towards master level, is just not funded. However, we do have resources, happy to send those to you. There are a lot of outside scholarships available. And so long as it's not made out to another institution, we're happy to take that. And we hope you will look for more. Even if you're awarded one, keep going, get some more, get your lottery ticket. But yes, we will definitely help you find those resources.
Do you accept students from Missouri? And is there any difference in pricing in state and out of state? So yes, we have students In every state. We have
Show
students
me.
who are around the world, even the show me state.
Yeah.
We have students around the world. You do
Yes.
not have to be a resident of the United States to take our online programs. You can do them wherever you are. We have students in the School of Social Work who are on Army bases around the world and Navy bases. As long as there's a licensed social worker who's licensed in America, you are free to study under them for your internship, and you can live wherever you would like to. Even sometimes take people from Alabama. Just joking. So we have next question is, I graduate in August of this year and want to do advanced standing in social work. When can I enroll? Avery?
So advanced standing is open for all 6 of our terms. So just give me a call and we can go over what that would look like. If you don't know what advanced standing is and you're applying for our Master of Social Work program, feel free to give me a call. I'd love to help you out.
Okay, I've been out of school for 2 or 3 years and graduated in 2020. What is the recommended, who is recommended for the letters of recommendation? Sarah?
It may depend on your program, but I would say basically most programs really want to see a work letter. Somebody, ideally a supervisor, and then someone else in your organization that can speak about your qualifications, your attributes, your accomplishments. So yes, definitely. I can think of very few programs that don't want somebody that you have as a work person. Now, if you're recently graduated and you haven't built up a resume yet, that would be the exception. Absolutely go back and get the academic letters. But if at all possible, I would say that your work resume is the first place to go get your leadership from your work experience.
And I will say that whether you're looking at academic or professional recommendations, you do not want to get personal recommendations. That is not what any department that we cover is looking
Right.
for. So you want to have someone who either can speak to your work ethic and character as an employer or as an educator. Avery, you want to jump in a little bit about what the forms are for social work and who they're looking for?
Sure thing. So the forms for social work are going to look just a little bit different whenever you are filling out the application. If you saw on the recommendations tab, you'll click on recommendation form for social work and child and family studies. And this is just going to send a specific form to your recommenders with some questions that the social work department really wants specifically about their program, just to kind of vet you and see, will you be successful in as a social work student and as a social worker? So those questions really are geared more towards that.
While you're on that subject, Avery, why don't you answer this upcoming question about what MSW admissions is looking for in their personal statement or letter of intent?
Of course. So you will not need to write a personal statement for your application, but you do need the letter of intent. This is more of an essay. It's 3 to 5 pages. All of the prompts are on the application portal if you are doing an application for the MSW program. Like I said, it's 3 to 5 pages. There's 3 sections. The first one is going to go over some questions about a code of ethics. The second one goes over some of your professional goals in the field of social work. And the last part's going to go over field education and your internship. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out.
And I'll say this is especially for the MSW program, but it also applies to all of our programs. So one thing that they're looking to see is graduate level writing, and that's especially important to the School of Social Work, but everyone. So you want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward here. This is your first introduction to your faculty. So not only are you introducing yourself, but also showing them that you're ready to achieve at this level. So, always recommend having another set of eyes look over that specific letter of intent or personal statement or whichever your program requires. You also want to make sure that you're following the directions. That's something that the School of Social Work, especially since their process is a little bit different and they do give you very specific prompts. So you want to make sure that you're answering those the way, you know, that they have. They give you the social work code of ethics. That's something that's linked into the application, as Avery said. So like she said, some of those questions want to know why you want to do the program. Some want to know how you think. They're wanting to see that you're thinking as a social worker, that you have that right mindset. And then some of those questions really are looking at, as Avery said, the field internship and how you plan to incorporate that into your personal plans. All right, Sarah, in the application process, was there an option to select what term you're applying for, or what's the earliest date you can apply for the fall term?
Fall is open now. And yes, you will see that. And I'm so sorry, I forget, but I think it's right after you start the application. It's one of the first two things that you're going to put in is, you know, the program that you want and when you want to start. That's considered fall 1 is August. Fall 2 is October. And I can tell you, we're already starting to get decisions for fall 1. I love it. Those people are going to be so happy when it's time to start their program and they are cruising high. I fully recommend that. I think fall is probably one of our biggest terms for applications and registration. So we want you getting your success coach, your academic advisor, making sure that you are smooth sailing coming in to start, especially, and ready to go.
Also, just in case you are looking for next year, the 2024 applications will go live on July 1st. And anything that you put into that application portal will stay there forever. So if you get recommendations and you want to switch to a 2024 application, that is available to you there. Likewise, just to touch on, I don't think we touched on this before, but as far as being admitted, if you're not quite sure when you're going to be able to start, feel confident that you can apply for a future term that is the earliest you may want to start, because our graduate school allows for you to defer your admission for up to a full year after your admitted term. So let's say you apply for fall 1 and you're admitted, and then you think, wait a minute, I'm coaching football this fall and I just don't have the time to devote to this. I want to wait till spring. You can defer all the way up until the summer 2 term of the next year before you would have to reapply. So feel free to apply, and then it's a quick phone call or email to one of us to let us know that you'd just like to defer. Financial aid options. Sarah, you want to go over a little bit more about that?
Yes, so a lot of our students are fortunate to have support from their employers. That's always a huge plus. But for those who are not, we do offer financial aid through the federal system. We provide a link for the FAFSA. You can fill that out. Please forgive my dogs. And we also have a link that we will share with you during that process so that you can find out from financial aid how it's going. If you have questions, they're there to help walk you through that. It's a really simple process. And I think what most people don't realize is they say, oh, well, I already use financial aid in my undergraduate work. Well, you have another opportunity to use it for your graduate work, regardless of whether you already use some on your undergraduate work.
Absolutely. And then a little bit, a question about if the official transcripts come to us directly from the National Clearinghouse. We do accept transcripts from National Clearinghouse. Really, it's up to the school that you are requesting one from. So again, let's use Auburn. Let's say you went to Auburn and you're applying here. You'll go to Auburn's website, and that will likely take you to a third-party vendor who provides transcripts for that university. So for the vast majority of the schools that we get transcripts from, you're looking at the Parchment service. So if you go to LSU, for instance, and I'm applying to do something and I need a transcript, it takes me to Parchment for through LSU's website, and then Parchment will send that transcript on. I do want to mention that if you did go to LSU and only the main campus, you will not need a transcript from LSU. So do not, if you have a copy and you want to upload that into the unofficial transcript part of the portal, please feel free to do that. But if you don't have one, as soon as you hit submit, because you've entered LSU as one of your institutions, then the grad school will pull that from the registrar. If the transcripts do not show 3.0, will you be accepted? Avery.
It depends. So like Sarah said earlier, there are some things we'll take into that admissions will take into consideration, and there sometimes your application can be admitted as low as 2.5. That would be under probation. It really just depends on the program. So if you have any specific questions about the program you're applying for, just feel free to reach out to us. They will take a look, admissions will take a look at your last 60 credit hours. So that's usually the last 2 years of your bachelor's degree. If that's above a 3.0, then you should be good to go. But if not, feel free to give us a call and we'll go over that with you.
And we have options for you. I don't want you to think that if you don't have a 3.0 straight away, that there's no path forward for you with LSU Online, because we have a lot of options that we can give you for ways to improve your chances of getting in. And a lot of times, if you do apply, then the department to which you've applied will give you what they would like to see. Maybe it's they'd like to see the GRE in addition to what you've done. Maybe it's that they'd like to see some additional hours at the graduate level before they would take you. But it's not just a dead no. And we, like Sarah said, and Avery has said, generally we will encourage you to apply and let them tell you, or let your application shine through and have them possibly take you before you start doing all of these other steps. So that's why we want to be able to speak with you and talk to you about which departments kind of veer one way or the other. And we're here to help you put your very best application forward. That's what we're here to do. So we're not going to send you to review if we think you're going to be a definite denial. We're going to help you get those other options taken care of. So we want to make sure we'll be able to see everything that you put in the same way the graduate school does, and we'll be able to make sure you're checking off the right things, that you have your best foot forward. So let us help you with that. That's why we're here. I'm not sure for this one for David, if you could specify later, will this program satisfy the requirement? So if you could tell us which program that you're looking for, we'd be happy to help you with that. Avery, is MSW an accredited program?
It is. It is CSWE accredited. It's a national accreditation. So this master's will allow you to practice in any state. You do need to look into your state's requirements based off of what license you're working towards. For example, if you want to get your LCSW, there are additional hours that you'll have to complete after graduating. So if you have any questions about that, as always, I keep pointing back to this, but give me a call. I'd love to go over that with you and I can point you in the right direction. But yes, it is accredited.
Sarah, do you want to talk a little bit on this subject about LSU's accreditation and which kinds of accreditations we accept for incoming transcripts from undergraduate programs?
Nope, I really want to.
I lost her.
I just don't understand the question.
Okay.
So our MBA department and our business schools programs are ASCVB accredited. Library science is ALA. All of our programs have the highest form of accreditation you can have. And if you're asking if your undergraduate school needs to be regionally or nationally accredited, I'm not sure if that was the question, but if it is, then you need to be regionally accredited. Nationally accredited is not, we're not able to accept that, only regionally accredited.
Which is what LSU is.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. So am I answering?
I know it sounds a little bit opposite. So a regionally accredited school is a higher accreditation than a nationally accredited school. So what you're looking for yourself and for LSU, we're a regionally accredited institution. All right, back in the 80s and 90s, I took graduate courses at LSU. Therefore, I had to submit transcripts to LSU. So my question is, do I have to submit transcripts again? The answer is maybe. That's something we'll help you work through the graduate school. If you are a recent LSU graduate or have taken classes at LSU recently, we can definitely help get those or get that waived for you. If it's been a while, it's likely that LSU will need some more transcripts, but you still don't need them from LSU. So anything you submitted to LSU, that's a maybe. We'll help you find that if it's still available. But if you ever went to LSU ever, then you don't need a transcript. We'll be able to take care of that. I want everyone to answer this next one because it's my favorite subject. But what do you like best about LSU? Avery is an LSU alumna. So what do you
I
like best about
am.
LSU?
I love the school spirit. I did not go to a big high school, but I went to our state's flagship school, and I really bought into the, football culture, and really, really loved my time as an LSU student on campus. And I've really enjoyed getting to know more students who have been enrolled and graduated from online programs and hearing their experiences. And I love that they felt very much part of the campus culture as well. I know with online programs, it could seem like you can get lost, or you might feel a little bit separated, but just know that you are welcome and invited. Like we said, you can come to sporting events, you can come to different events on campus. There are a great bit of things that you can get involved in, online and in Baton Rouge. So.
Sarah, what do you like best about LSU?
I think really it is the culture. When we say go Tigers, and I say it all the time, every time I have a conversation with a learner, they're going to hear go Tigers. But I believe that go Tigers is not just about sports or football. It's the culture we have here that is basically we help everybody. We want everybody completely supported. What can I do for you? I experienced that when I came here as a student, was completely blown away. And then what really blew my mind was when I became part of LSU Online as student support, how much I myself have been supported as part of this team. We're constantly improving and evolving, and we are so genuine, as I think most of our students are too, in just wanting to help you. I've had students who, this is going to sound weird, but if you cannot qualify for an LSU master, we're going to help you find another path to the best of our ability. We're going to help you. You are important to us. You're not just an application. You are a part of our culture. From the minute we pick up the phone, you're already part of our culture. And it's just huge. It's so energizing and embracing. It's hard to even find words for it.
Awesome. So I'll talk a little bit about, I'll try not to take up the rest of the hour on this question because I could talk all day and my coworkers hear me talk all day about it. So I graduated from LSU for my bachelor's degree. And like I said, I am a graduate student with LSU Online right now. And to me, what I like best about LSU is that it is a non-delineated degree. So like we said, nowhere will your degree say LSU Online, not your transcripts, not your diploma, not your graduation ceremony. You're a full LSU student. And that's important to me because I grew up loving LSU and I'm a proud alumna of LSU's undergrad. And I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't the full deal to be part of LSU. What I love about my job and working with all of you is that, of course, you can see that I love LSU and I love being able to spread it all over the country, all over the world. And then I think bringing all of you in from all of your experiences and all of your regions makes LSU so much stronger. So to be able to share that love I have with you, bring you into the fold, bring you into LSU to make it even stronger. That's why I do this. That's why I love this. And I think that as an online student, I have had every available opportunity to interact with my classmates, with faculty, with the departments. I've constantly been given enrichment and participation opportunities that are voluntary, not things that you have to do, but to make me feel like I'm part of of LSU, even if I never step foot on campus. So I really would love to be able to share this experience with you and bring you into the fold too. Sarah, quickly, are we online? Are we synchronous or asynchronous?
We are asynchronous. So again, that's why it doesn't matter where you live. If you're like our learner in Missouri, if you're in Dubai, it just doesn't matter. You log in at whatever time of day is comfortable for you. You'll get your classwork. We have a design team here that works with our faculty to help make it engaging. And I was just thinking of something else about the asynchronicity of it. The only other caveat I would say is watch your deadlines. We are in Central Time Zone, but we'll, as you get closer to actually having deadlines, we'll talk about that. But yes, you work it the way it works for you, your job, your family, and all your other things that you've got going on.
Our next couple of questions, and we're getting close to the end here, so we're trying to, if Avery and Sarah, if you can answer any of these questions that are kind of individual questions, especially for a specific program, if you can type in the answers to those in your chat, so that we can try to get up a little bit further in. I do want to address, we have someone here who is 71 years young and is looking at our program, and we also have someone in the military. Both are looking for fees to be waived. And what we can do is in both circumstances, we can talk to you about what we can do with you. Military, we have an amazing Veterans Center on campus for our Veterans Affairs Center for students. They will work with you to help get any resources you can. We do not have the capacity, like Sarah said, to give scholarships or fees to be waived outside of that application fee. That's the only thing that we really can help in that department. But there are plenty of resources out there for students and for applicants. But because we are a state institution, because we have some of the lowest prices for these kinds of degrees, LSU just doesn't have the ability to waive anything any further. And I think a lot of times when you do look at schools who are able to waive fees or to give scholarships, even with that additional help, their fees still don't get down as low as what we're able to provide just for our flat fees. We wish we could get everybody in and help them all, get everything paid for, but right now the best we can do is trying to keep these prices as affordable as possible for all of you. If you're unable to, if somebody asks if they're unable to retrieve one of my graduate degree transcripts, will I still be considered for admission? You will not be able to be reviewed by the graduate school until you have a transcript from each school. Like we said, they can be unofficial, but you will need an official copy. And a lot of times, and I'm not sure what the case is here, but a lot of times sometimes you can't get a transcript because you may still have a hold from your current or your prior institution due to a bill that still needs to be paid or something along that line. But unfortunately, until we have at least an unofficial transcript from each university, the graduate school will not be able to review you. Now, once you start classes, it's typically 30 days after admission, we need that official copy. If you're not able to provide that official copy, then you won't be able to register for your second term. So unfortunately, the answer is, yeah, if you can't get a transcript from everybody, then we're not going to be able to move forward with you in the process. Quickly, we're down to our last second. I think we're going to try to answer these. We're going to try to get these into you as best we can, answering them in the chat. Let's see, we're gonna work on these as soon as we finish up. We're gonna keep trying to get these questions out to you. Please feel free if you have questions, and especially if you have ones that have not been answered yet, to email one of us with that question, and we will be happy to get that to you. Final question I'm going to answer is our setup like Canvas. We use Moodle, which is like Canvas and Blackboard. So everyone, I just want to thank you so much for coming tonight. I know we didn't get to quite everything, and we tried to get as much as we could. But we would love to talk to you on the phone. And if you can't talk on the phone, you just email us, and you'd be surprised what we can do through text and email to answer your questions. We have a whole team behind us too. So if you ever call and you can't get the person you're looking for, you just ask for one of our team members, and we are all happy to help you, like I said, get into the fold of LSU, and join Tiger Nation. So thanks all of you for coming, and have a great night. We hope to be in touch soon.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Yes.